Well, welcome everyone to the next episode of the ACR Game Plan. So glad to be with you and bringing this content to you on the channel. Welcome, Flo. How are you?
Hi, I'm more or less fine, still recovering. So we had COVID, unfortunately, the last couple of days. We found out that it's not only a cold, but also COVID. But yeah, I'm feeling better right now, and yeah, hope to be fully recovered soon.
Yeah, that's no good, guys. Really glad that you're able to make the time to be here with us and recording this video and having a chat. And we've got a very special guest today. Welcome, Nush98. How are you?
I'm fine, excited to be here. I mean, I've seen you and Flo record many times, so yeah, very excited to be a part of it.
So if you're watching at home, don't worry, your eyes don't deceive you. This is not three different cameras. This is Flo and Noosh are in the same room. And so tell me, how did you guys meet? And when did you start playing the game?
So we met yeah, during university sports. We both played hockey. I think I joined Mario Kart Tour maybe half a year after you.
Yeah.
So I wanted to join earlier because Flo made me really eager, but for some reason the app wouldn't start on my iPhone. So I just gave up on it and played Candy Crush. But yeah, then finally I got the app running, and now I'm a huge fan.
Well, it's good you got the app running, because do you want to tell us what is special about this Bowser tour for you?
Yeah, so I'm doing my first top 1000 run.
Woohoo!
I was never a very competitive player. I mean, you know, I played ranked, and I give my best. I try to invest my tickets sensibly. Now that we have ticket time, it's getting even easier. But yeah, I was never that competitive. So now, after I handed in my master's dissertation, I'm free to spend some time on the very important things, which is a top 1000 run for me.
Yeah, so now that you're highly educated, you can leave that behind and go and start your professional Mario Kart Tour career.
Yeah.
Welcome to the ACR Game. This is what we're all about here. Awesome. Well, congratulations on your studies. That must be a huge boost. And I know you guys are on holiday and having fun, and you got a bit more time. So good luck with your grind, and hopefully what we talk about today can really help you out with going for your first top 1000. I know I was super nervous on my first top 1000, and then as it kind of progressed, I realized, oh, you know what? Like, actually, I can do this, and it's actually really fun. And it challenges you, just kind of like doing ranked 12 times. So you'll be all good. You've done this, you've done this 12 tours in a row. Now you just do it 12 times in one tour. So it just takes a little bit more time. So good luck with that. And I thought it could be a fun thing to just ask, what is it that you love most about playing Mario Kart Tour?
So I think I'm really into pulling pipes. And to be honest, so I think that's what I most like about in-game, but I'm also a huge fan of filling out tables and getting things organized. So I also love to have upgrade rankings and all the sheets the Mario Kart community supplies us with, which I'm very thankful for. So yeah, I think that's what I love. And Koopy. So Koopy is my favorite character. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So you'll be waiting for like a Cooper hardcore Cooper alt that comes out,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
SNS
nice
Cooper or something would be cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, you're in the right place if you came for data and spreadsheets and such, because we are ready with all of that. And so we're going to get into this episode. So just a really brief overview. We're going to take a look at the previous ACR results. So massive shout out and a thank you from me to the community out there who've supported me with my first ever top one. It might be also my last ever top 100 run last tour, which was just insane. It was stressful, it was fun, it was crazy, and the thing that just really warmed my heart was the support. So I'm keen to unpack some of the fun highlights for me, some of the low lights, just some of the things that kind of happened and talk that through. We'll look at this tour ahead. What are the ACR projections? What might they do this tour? Then we're going to talk about just highlight a resource in the community. Today, we're going to selfishly look at our own Discord server to let you guys all know out there what's the benefit and what's the purpose of our server, so you can get involved and know more about that. And then we're going to dive fully into everything in this tour. So we're going to look at the new courses, the plus skill driver bus, the plus skill distribution. There is so much to talk about, so we'll keep it pretty brief. So what I'd suggest you do is make sure to pause the video, take a look at the things, and start to look at your own loadouts. And once you've run ticket time, have a look at the individual courses that upgrade for you, because there's so many buffs this tour. It's absolutely insane with so many new tracks and so many returning tracks as well. We've got the tour hot list for ranked in ACR. We're going to look at the ticket time upgrade rankings and look at some specific account specific upgrade rankings as well. And then we'll just chat about what our ACR game plan is, and especially Nush, what your plan will be to go for top 1000. So let's dive straight into it with the ACR results from the Sundae Tour. Flo, did you have a fun tour?
Yeah, more or less. So as I mentioned, I was a little bit sick, but at least I had some time to sleep and then some time to grind, something like that. As you see, not the best grind, something close to 85%, and not that great races all over the place, but a pretty good one on Warrior Shipyard. So the very last one in the last row. Double lucky 7 frenzy with a single lucky 7, but especially there were a lot of coins that I collected with some coin boxes around, so that's why it's even over the estimate. I'm pretty proud on that run, but the rest is just getting the things done. But at least I collected the question mark block me racing suit without investing any tickets in this tour. So I could have invested into the gold me for Skyas on the T, but
you held off. I was watching your ranks to see if you would do it or not.
Yeah,
congratulations. That's a huge achievement. So well done. And speaking of spending tickets or not spending tickets, I spent every ticket in the world last tour. So I think I spent over 60 tickets. It might have been closer to 80 tickets last tour, which is pretty crazy. But what happened, guys, was in what you'll see in front of you is what happened with the ACR projections. So in the bottom left corner, you'll see day one projections. The top 100 was 1.47, and then even from a couple days later, it had gone up already by 50,000 points, and then over the tour, it went up essentially by 100,000 points, which was pretty insane. And that put a lot of pressure on players like myself who were going for top 100, who were committed at that point to keep performing, because we didn't know when the projection was going to stop going up. But then we were investing our tickets, we was grinding harder, and that was pushing the projection up. So we were the problem. I was somewhere around kind of that 100th place cutoff for quite a few days. So I'm sure Rashid was looking at my name a few times and looking at where those scores were going. So a really interesting tour, quite a unique one, I think, for top 100 in that it went up so much. But I was really naive kind of going into it. So I learned a lot. And the difference between even in 1.47 to 1.52, it sounds like a small amount, but it's a huge amount of points. So and that went up even greater over the tour to 1.567. So it was an interesting tour. I'm just going to go over some of the highlights that I kind of had as it went on. So firstly, some great races that I had and some real big wins and some fun races. On the left was my ranked Rosalina's Ice World RT race, where I got 236 actions. Absolutely loving this armored rider kart. The hitbox is amazing. It drives amazing, and it just vacuums up every coin in sight. And it was just a really cool race. Then the one on the right, not as crazy in terms of the action count, but this is my highest score in the game ever. And this is pretty cool because I took over the account from Josh, and he had the highest score on it. And finally, I've beaten his score on my account. And so now I have my own record, which has beaten his with 61,576 points on, I think this is Rainbow Road 2RT perhaps, or 2RT, I think it is. So some of those RT courses are pretty fun. And so that one was, just a massive boost to the confidence. And then this was one other cool run I just wanted to highlight, which White Tanuki Mario using the giant banana. Really interesting what happened with this, because I was grinding with Hakama Mario using that annoyingly skinny chocolate banana minibus on Yoshi Valley R for a long time, and just not getting the runs, just not, I had double coin box frenzy, couple single boxes, crazy runs that should have been very good. Getting up into the the kind of the one similar action counts really, around that kind of 160 through to 180 kind of mark, but not really cracking what I needed to. I was dropping combo all over the place because it's a really hard course to keep combo. So I decided to switch tack and try out White Tanuki Mario. And one of the first races I did, I actually got a triple giant banana frenzy, which was insane. But of course, then what happened was it was significantly less actions, like 130, because I just did not get the bot hits that I needed, which shows how important the sequence of events is. So if you think about that course, the most important thing you need to do is you have to roll a giant banana frenzy on the first box. If you don't, the bots spread out, the giant bananas go all over the course, but no one hits them. And you don't get the boost of your actions before you start dropping combo later in the race. So what happened on this run here, it was pretty much the perfect sequence minus one thing, and that was a giant banana frenzy off the first box. Got heaps and heaps of hits. In fact, it was 9 giant banana hits, which is, I think, the maximum you can get out of a giant banana frenzy. If I'm not correct. But then I got 2 coin frenzies during the race. One was on, I think, on the last box. So I crossed the finish line without finishing that frenzy. But other than that, it was pretty much a perfect race. And the giant banana hits made a huge difference to the scoring. So only 177 actions, but then massive increase to the scoring. So I loved it. I was really enjoying the giant banana. Cool. Then I had one more race just outlining, just to talk about the very last day of the race. So this is the evening before. The next day was, I was going to be at work. I had an all-day workshop at work, and then ranked finishes like maybe an hour. Oh, sorry, the tour finishes 1 hour after I finish work. So I don't really have any time to grind. So I spent 3 hours the night before and went into, I think this was Wario Shipyard R, I think.
Yeah.
And spent 2 to 3 hours on this course and got nothing. In fact, I got 2 runs in the high, like basically 200 actions, but got second place or third place. And it was absolutely soul crushing because I knew with that projection that I had to get an increase in the score. And so then continued the next morning. I got up way earlier in the morning and did 3 hours in the morning on Cooper Cape R, I think, with Pink Shy Guy Ninja. Got hardly any frenzies, hardly got anything. It was so rough. And then finally in the end, I got a great run, but I think I got red shelled right at the finish line. And so then I had to head to work, with my tail between my legs, thinking I haven't got it. It's not going to happen, or maybe I'm safe with the projection. I'm only 1,000 points off, but possibly not. What happened then was, going to the next slide. In the last, I finished work, and in the last 20 minutes, or in the last 45 minutes or so before the tour finished, I started grinding Vanilla Lake 1T. With the Kart Kappa tickets from Ranked, I upgraded the Rambi Runner. I triple capped it. And then I went back into Vanilla Lake 1T. And this right here is the 11 actions that got me my top 100 placement. So I got 99th place because I scored 11 more actions on this course to take it from 130 to 141 actions, non-stop combo. Maybe there was some combo drops in the original score, I'm not sure. But that took me from 37,313 to 39,226. So it was literally a photo finish. It was absolutely crazy. And Yeah, I had a lot of fun, but it was super stressful. So yeah, I learned a lot. It was interesting spending so much time in some courses where you didn't get any gain, then spending very little time on another course and under that kind of pressure and still getting a scoring gain. So it shows you how important it is to keep moving and not get too stuck on a track for too long. Otherwise, you can really lose your momentum. So I learned a lot. And final slide, here is my ACR results. That doesn't include that Vanilla Lake 1T score. I didn't update that on here, but I finished around 89.1% or something like that, which is the highest I've ever scored for ACR in terms of the percentage. My plan was to go for 87%. And so as the projections increased, I had to move that target, which did put a bit of pressure on, but I did it. So, it definitely shows that as an achievement where you have to put the effort in to get there. But those were my runs. I think I've probably outlined the ones that are of most interest. There were some runs that could have definitely been better. I didn't get 200 actions over many courses at all. And that was just because I think I spent about 45 hours total. Whereas some people, I know Ronnie Cash, shout out to you, who also achieved his first top 100. He spent something like 100 hours for his top 100. So it shows you the difference with your loadouts and how hard you have to grind. So for me, I was comfortable with that amount of time in the game and with what I wanted to achieve. So those are my insights. Any thoughts, guys? I don't know, Flo, if you ever plan on doing top 100 again, but it was crazy.
Yeah, well, yeah, congratulations, of course.
Thanks,
That's really a huge achievement. I was, yeah, as I was a little bit sick, I would have loved to join some voice chats or evening grinds. I was just looking at the scores every evening and also looking where could you maybe improve to get the last important points. And yeah, you really make my top 100 grind look a little bit boring in comparison to that excited
I'm just a more animated person, man. Yeah. You were methodical. You were just like bang, 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 done. And I was just like stressed out.
You can make a movie out of your journey. But, yeah. For me, yeah, I maybe at some point, I'm not sure. Maybe even this tour was looking not that bad, but of course a lot of people have very good loadouts there. So yeah, I'm not sure. It's also, yeah, it's a lot of time. You need at least something like 40 hours with our loadouts. If you have better loadouts, then it might be less, but yeah, it's a huge amount of time and you don't want to spend that every single tour. So
yeah, and there's sacrifices you make. You don't grind player level really at all. You spend a lot of time just trying to get rid of the tokens, which I had to do, which took a lot of time. And then you end up upgrading items that maybe you're not so excited about. And then you end up with basically no resources at the end of the tour. So it's definitely fun, but it definitely is an event that now that I'm over, I'm happy to just focus on ranked and have fun just with the game, like get into ranked and really smash that out. And, ACR can kind of take care of itself for the time being. Anyway, guys, those are my thoughts and reflections on ACR Top 100. I would really encourage, if you've got that goal, to really talk to people in the community who have a bit of experience. Come and hang out and chat in our server so you can get a little bit of insight on what Top 100 really is like. Don't worry, Anusha, Top 1000 isn't nearly as intense as what we just described, so I'm not trying to scare you at all. So speaking of Top 1000, here are our ACR projections. Thanks to Rashid and to Nadino for the projections that you guys do. Stay tuned to Frenzy Fan server to see Nadino's projection, which will come out in a few days. And that's sitting at 1.26 million right now for Top 1000, and then Top 100 is 1.62. Moving right along, then we want to highlight our server as a resource in the community. We really want to make this a place where people can get support with upgrading the right items, with getting the right resources, and really a data-led approach to playing this game and making the right upgrades. So just in no particular order, here are some of the sections in our server and what you can kind of do to them. So we've got the ticket time section, which has got links to the app and a section where we give you updates on anything that changes with ticket time. And then my personal favorite channel here is the ticket time inventory insights, which we like these alliterations. They're quite fun. But the inventory insights, really the purpose of that, and really for me, that is the main part of our server. You will use ticket time and you will compute your rankings, and then you'll look at it and you'll go, okay, I'm not sure what insight I'm supposed to take from this. Any report that you see, that can be the problem with it, because the data itself tells a story that might be hard to understand. So what we're here to do is really to work as a community to support you to understand what your best upgrades are and why. So for example, I shared on Reddit, I shared this week, here's ticket time, try it out. And one person commented and said, oh, it's really great, but it keeps recommending I upgrade level 1 items over level 3 items. And I was trying to explain to them that that's because that item's actually better for your account than the level 3 item. But in their mind, their thinking was, because I've already invested into an item to level 3, then taking it higher makes sense. But actually, sometimes it doesn't make sense. And that's all part of the algorithm that we're trying to figure out. So get involved in the server, guys. That's a really key area that you can share your own upgrade rankings, and we can share insights and discuss and understand what's important for you as a player so that you can upgrade the right items for your future. Also, we've got a ticket time feedback section, which is really cool. We've got a section which is around the YouTube channel, and also all of the slides from ACR Game Plan will get uploaded just exclusively in our server. And then we've got, a more generalized area where we have got all sorts of Mario Kart Tour resources, including data mining, and in terms of, the ACR bot, and in terms of, tracker tools and things like that. We're also going to do some live voice chats and all sorts of game streams and stuff as well. So get involved. It's really fun. Flo, did you ever think you would have a Discord server? And are you enjoying being part of the community?
Yeah, I didn't really thought of it a while ago, but of course it's nice to have some place where we can discuss the things with everyone. Of course, we had a similar thing in the OG server, which is also, of course, nice that we can have the discussions over there. But OG is, of course, a clan, and we want to have it possibility to, so that everyone can chat about ticket time and get some support, and it's not spread around multiple Discord servers for the different content creators. So I think it's a good thing to have this centralized, and especially because I can then also make some announcements like new features, updates to the new tour. If you haven't checked it out, but you're part of the server, so of course, if you're not part of the server, feel free to join. And if you're part of the
link
server
down below.
and are interested into ticket time, then maybe take some time, look at the ticket time updates channel. And I created a small poll just to get a feeling if you're using ticket time, if you're using all the features, or if you're interested in a few particular ones. And I also had some ideas about future features that I plan to implement. And just leave your vote, which you think is the most important, and I will try to prefer that and implement the first.
Awesome. Very nice. Cool. Get involved, guys. I'll chuck a link down in the description down below. All right. Let's get into these brand new courses, which I definitely, for me personally, I'm enjoying the Remix Bowser's Castle 1 tracks a bit more. They're a bit more interesting to me, but it's there's a lot of variety with, I think, is it 6 new tracks this tour? It's a lot to play through, right? So I think you kind of need more variance when you have these tracks, which are all quite similar, but they're all great coin box tracks. They've all got plus skills on them. So a lot to get to. In terms of what we've got here in front of us, Flo, I'll hand it over to you. You can chat through some of these courses and highlight some of the items of interest.
Yeah, so we have a huge amount of buffs, also because we have 6 new tracks, but we also finally got some rotations on the tracks, so we don't see any single track that we have seen last tour or also the tours before. So that's nice, and we we'll see the buffs in a minute. just to have a look at the new tracks, we have, as you mentioned, plus skills all over the place. Coinbox especially, already on 5 out of the 6 new variants, with the only exception being Bowser's Castle 3G, and this one is even one of the 2 versions is also spotlight boosted with Meowser, so you can even use a Coinbox over there. But yeah, you can really choose between so many plus skills. You have, on the first version, you have Samurai Mario, who also got this Bowser's Castle 3T, which is in the same buff as you can see here. There are 3 coin boxes, middle shelf, so that should be pretty boomboxable. And apart from that, some buffs on Meowser, some on Banta, some on Daisy Tigress, and out of the new items, there are pretty every item got at least one of the 6 new tracks, and a couple got even more, 2 or 3. And yeah, make sure
I'll go to
that
the
you
next slide if we continue on, because there's so many courses to get through.
Yeah, and here you can even see, so the RMX Bowser's Castle 1, which is the non-ranked version, you can see there's
It's
so
a huge
many
top shelf.
Yeah, that's a huge starting top shelf. It's really, you have something like a penguin toad, which was just in the last pipe. That's why I probably got that buff. Otherwise, it does not really fit the theme. But yeah, you have so many drivers, especially, but also carts and gliders. And then if we go to the last slide, we see here, this one is a little bit more difficult. So RMX Bowser's Castle 1T is the version that is in ranked this week, in the first week. But you still have 2 giant banana drivers over there. You have 2 boomerang drivers. You can either use Kangaroo Yoshi if you own him, or PD as the new boomerang driver. And then, of course, you also have a coin box option there if you're lucky enough to pull Gold Charging Chuck. And especially this track is also a nice boombox track. You already have 3 coin boxes over there on the middle shelf. So a lot of nice tracks, a huge amount of buffs. It's really depends on the account which gliders, carts, and drivers are now interesting to invest in.
Yeah, and I know a couple people who are lucky enough to pull Gold Charging Chuck, but I won't do any spoilers. But it does make it hard, you know, even if you unlock him, you look at that and you go, like for me, I'm like, Yoshi Kangaroo, I need to upgrade him more. That's probably my number one, not my number one on my ticket time rankings, but it's the obvious low-hanging fruit to upgrade in the account. And I've just taken Pink Shy Ninja to 6 and double capped, and I want to use him. So, you know, it makes it really hard. Then you go, now I've got this goal, you know, this brand new driver that's not a spotlight and a pipe that I need to get in on, and then spend more tickets on that. So the overlaps are really challenging. Let's look at Gold Charging Chuck now and his value, and just compare. So what we've got here is Gold Charging Chuck with all of his courses, and next to those courses, we've got the items which overlap, which are plus skill items. So you'll see straight away that there are almost no, there are no exclusive plus skill tracks, which is normal these days. That's not really a surprise. What is interesting though is that there is Coinbox on almost every single track apart from Remix Bowser's Castle 1T and 3DS Neo Bowser City. And when you think about those courses, you know, it is probably quite likely, and we just discussed Remix Bowser's Castle 1T, it's probably like you already have something at a high level for 3DS Neo Bowser City, and then Remix Bowser's Castle 1T, you possibly also have one of these drivers at a high level too. So what are your thoughts on his starting value, Flo?
Yeah, maybe it's a decent selection. So at least he got some new tracks, and it really depends on which items you have. So if, for example, Mushroom God T is a coin box, or has been a coin box exclusive for the Gold Me. If you are nowhere close to level 80, then it's a good buff for Gold Charging Chuck, even if it's a track where you can also get 200 actions with Giant Banana or Lucky 7. Then, as you mentioned, New Bowser City, that's a pretty nice track because there are no jumps. I think that should be pretty good for coin collection. Bowser's Castle 3R could also be interesting. It's level 6 unlock, but it's only Bowser Center there. And if you don't have him or don't have him at a high level, might fill this gap as well. And the same holds for Choco Mountain RT, which might have been a Plaskill unique for Mario Tuxedo before. Now there's Charging Chuck there as well, and then Gold Charging Chuck 2. So that's, yeah, of course decreases the value of Mario Tuxedo even further. But yeah, that might also be a nice track for Gold Charging Chuck. And yeah, the selection is okay. It's nothing where you say, okay, you really need to pull him. So yeah,
we'll see what happens, right? He will gain value. We'll see.
Yeah.
My prediction is that Gold Charging Chuck is going to get insane ranked value because he's a non-spotlight in a pipe with a whole bunch of terrible items apart from the golden wings. So, you know, if you're, I mean, and what I would say is if you're a free-to-play player or Gold Pass and you're new to the game, it makes a lot of sense to go in on Gold Chuck and go fully in on him, because if you look at pretty much every other driver on these lists, almost none of them make sense or would you have access to. You know, Tuxedo's old, Santa Bowser's old, you know, Kamek is now even a year old, Goldme is far out of your reach. Yowza is even, you know, he's great, but he's his value is less now, and he's only got 2 overlaps there anyway. So, you know, for someone who isn't invested in some of these drivers, it would make so much sense, and that would basically be the pillar of your account and will probably carry you for the next year straight, I would say. So I don't know how many new players watch the ACR game plan, but you know, if you are new, then and you have the rubies to guarantee it or make the odds in your favor, then I would say go for it. Speaking of Tuxedo and looking at some of the items which gained and lost value, it's been a really interesting tour for buffs. I think Flo's going to talk a little bit as we get into the upgrade rankings about what happened to our top 10 with all the buffs this tour. But looking at the things that got buffed, and which is specifically Plaskill, we have 2 slides of this, guys. So we'll make it really brief. There is a lot of buffs this tour. But speaking of Tuxedo, pretty much, you know, a lot of the exclusive tracks, like you see with Tie-Dye Daisy there, Dino Jungle T, I think that was in a Tuxedo Coinbox exclusive, and now she's, you know, doubling up on that track. I think there's another one for Tuxedo as well. You can probably comment on, Flo, if you know that off the top of your head.
So it was not an exclusive, but of course there's Mario Circuit R, which is now covered by the Gold Me. And Gold Me is, yeah, since me, it's the best option anyway. So if you have it, then it's always the best option. But yeah, I think those are the 3 tracks. So Choco Mountain RT, which we have seen Gold Charging Chuck covers now, and then Dino Jungle T for Daisy Tigress and Mario Circuit R for the Gold Me.
Certainly, Daisy Tigress, massive boost for her in terms of, you know, again, if you're a newer player and you've got her on your account, investing into her is going to make a lot of sense as you go forward if you don't have a lot of coin boxes who are on these other tracks as well. The Question Box Me really gaining a lot of value there with another 3 great buffs. The White Tanuki Mario, I'm stoked. I've got to give him a shout out because he's got 4 courses this tour, which is absolutely fantastic. Piranha Plant Slide being a really good buff for him as well, which gives me, I think that's a Pink Shy Guy Ninja track, I believe. But for me, that means that, you know, he's the one that I'm going to take to a higher level, being that he's a newer driver. And I've already got him at a slightly higher level than Pink Shy Guy Ninja. Let me know if you've got anyone you wanted to talk to on the slide, Flo. Otherwise, I'll move on to the next one.
Maybe just to highlight White Tanuki Mario and Rosalina Chef, this RMX Choco Island 1R buff is also pretty nice. I think that has been a Mario Chef exclusive plus skill. So those are pretty nice buffs. This tour it's covered by Kamek since it's both a spotlight and a cup boost, and that brings Kamek from the bottom shelf to the top shelf. But for
That's
the
cool.
upcoming tours, this might be a pretty good track to use any of the giant banana drivers on.
Yeah, when I see a buff like that, I think that's amazing. Put it in ranked next tour, please. And then I'll be loving it. as long as it's not the Kamek Cup. All right. And then moving on with some more of the plus skill buffs. So we had PD Piranha with 3 solid buffs there. Mario Samurai, another 2 solid buffs. Again, someone that has a really, really good value, though most people were not invested in him there. And I see some pretty amazing boombox runs happening on some of these courses this tour. Another couple for Charging Chuck, which is really cool to see. He's number 5 on our list. Yoshi Kangaroo, another buff. Can you believe he's still getting buffed almost 18 months later? It's absolutely insane. He's number 4 on our list. Luigi Vacation, Shy Guy Ninja. Nintendo and the developers are never shy. They're never shy guy to buff these boomerang drivers. So, if you're invested in boomerang, you know that you're going to get the coverage, which is really cool to see. Flo, anyone to highlight on the slide from your perspective? Bollandam, sorry, I should have mentioned her as well, of course.
Yeah, but no one special to mention, but just to see the big picture. If you have looked at the last slide and this slide, you might have noticed that there's a lot of buffs for especially the best drivers in game, according to Ticket Time. And in fact, the top 16 of the list, every single one of them got a buff. So all of the top coin boxes, Boomerang, other Giant Banana, Lucky 7 drivers got a buff, at least one. And yeah,
Wow,
it's
crazy.
It's really crazy. And I think someone even mentioned that it's funnily enough, that every single Boomerang high-end driver got a single buff. So we have 8 high-end Boomerang drivers. Everyone got at least one buff.
Wow, even Shy Guy Ninja.
Yeah, even Shy Guy Ninja, he's still
Crazy.
getting one buff if there's a Bowser's Castle theme, something like that. So yeah, if you have invested in any of those, at least you have one new track covered. And maybe even all if you have invested in a couple of them.
Yeah, just more, with the drivers, it's really pick the ones that you want to use and go after those, right? Because you'll get the coverage. And make sure it's a plus skill, please. Play the game how you want to, right? But speaking of the Bowser Tour, I think this could be called the Coinbox Tour. So we've got the Coinbox or the plus skill distribution. And on the left, you can see the ideal distribution here is 94% Coinbox with 34 tracks, with leaving 2 remaining as boomboxable tracks there. Pretty insane to see. We've had quite a lot of variety, and I thought that we've kind of peaked. I think a couple tours ago, I think we'd kind of peaked with very Coinbox heavy tours, but this is absolutely insane. Unbelievable how much Coinbox there really is. And looking at mine, I'm 30 Coinbox tracks, which I couldn't actually believe when I saw that. I thought that was absolutely crazy. But really would be interested to focus specifically on Nush, your plus skill distribution, and tell us what skills do you like to grind, and how do you feel about 22 Coinbox tracks? I think it's 5 boombox tracks, 2 lucky 7, 4 giant banana, and 1 without a plus skill.
3.
Yeah, so I really enjoy the giant banana grinding. It's just fun, and you get to collect lots of tokens this tour, so that's really cool. I mean, Coinbox is obviously also good to go and everything, but to be honest, I'm not that good at Coinbox grinding. So when I see videos of other people grinding coin boxes, they get nearly every coin. I'm not that good at coin box grinding. Yeah. I don't think I often had to do boomboxing because for example, Florian, he does boomboxing quite often because I think when he does boomboxing, I often can use Pinja. So yeah, it's just easier if your luck depends only on frenzies and not also on what other drivers get. So yeah.
Very nice. What level do you have Pinja at?
I think he's level 6, double capped.
Nice. That's a good investment. Did you invest early?
Yes, I think so. So
yeah, and it was pretty funny because you invested into him to level 5, but you didn't have a single cap ticket left because of some other investments. So it was really level 5, 800, which was looking a little bit strange. But,
looks funny.
He got the tickets he deserved. So
yeah, good. I totally support that. That's fantastic. Well, good luck with your grinding, and yeah, I love Giant Banana too. So what I wanted to see this tour on my distribution was, replace that coin box with Giant Banana. But hey, I have to wait for the right tour. All right. Moving right along, we've got our tour hot list. Flo, I'll let you take us through this.
Yeah, we can just go quickly through that. It's a typical tour hot list distribution. You will find the spotlights on the top, since we also have some spotlight buffs, especially if there are new items like Gold Charging Shark, Bowser Me Racing Suit, which are not even spotlights, but of course they get all the new tracks because they just got released this tour, so they only have tracks that are in the current tour. And yeah, some couple of nice items there.
Meowser, it's an insane Meowser tour, right?
Yeah, that should be definitely the item to highlight. Meowser with 11 ACR occurrences, that's huge. So if you don't, I have him at level 7 double cap. I might triple cap him. Even if I have the easy tide rest for the Bowser's Castle 3, so I don't need to triple cap him this week, but maybe I will do it next week because he's in rank there as well, as you can see here.
Yeah, on my free-to-play account, I triple capped him this morning. Just
nice.
I had the cap tickets. I was like, who else am I going to triple cap? And this is the tour to do it. Double feature in ranked, I think. And then, yeah, just all over the place in this tour.
To be honest, I was really surprised that he got another 2 brand new tracks as buffs. That's huge. That's because he was already a great driver, and I wasn't expecting Nintendo to give him even more buffs because he's already a great driver. Of course, 1 buff because he's featured in the pipe, but man, this is really amazing. Meowser is the second best driver after Goldme. It's of course the best driver for many of the people out there because you have no option to get me.
All right, we'll move on to the carts.
Yeah, just to let you know, of course, these tables are just copied from the Ticket Time website. So if you're interested into the full rankings or you want to look for a specific driver, kart or glider, then you can just enter it in the search there. We just focus on the first, something like 15 drivers with a lot of ACR and ranked usages. And as you can see here, the Gold Bullet Blaster, which is also non-spotlight in the special pipe, might be worth collecting if you want to go for ACR. The bad thing is, of course, its size. It's pretty small, so not good for coin collection. As you have seen, there is basically on every single track a coin box option there. So if you haven't leveled in those, then probably Gold Bullet Blaster. At least you have to be aware that this is not it's not fun to collect coins with such small cards. Then rather use the second option, the red off-roader, the opposite of it, maximum size, and you can get a lot of more coins with the new track. Then Kekby, another new card, paywall one, but also with a lot of usages. And further down the list, you see other new cards, other spotlighted cards, and Warrior Wagon, maybe to highlight this, which is not not available this tour, if I'm not mistaken, but also with a lot of occurrences, and it's also a large hitbox card. So that might be also an option to invest in if you, for example, don't want to pull the red off-roader for the Bowser's Castle 3.
Awesome, man. And then moving on to the gliders.
Yeah, and we have here two very interesting new gliders covering a lot of the new tracks. Black Starchute and the Lava Rocks. Black Starchute, I think, have all of the RMX Bowser's Castle covered. Lava Rocks, a little bit of a mix of it, and Wicked Topaz as well. But I think if you have both invested into Lava Rocks and Wicked Topaz, you have all of the 6 new tracks covered. So that might be a nice combination. And then, as always, you see, for example, the Golden Wings, because they are just covering everything, and so you cannot avoid it in ACR. Yeah, some nice surprises. Piranha Plant balloons, maybe. Gold Toby balloons, which are also available this tour if you want to pull the special pipe. Fireman.
Shout out to Larry98 and the gold Toby balloons. I know he spent like 1,000 rubies just for that one item.
Yeah, now it's finally the time to invest into it.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
All right. You know, in essence, Ticket Time, if you haven't watched one of our episodes before, is a tool which takes your inventory, it computes the best upgrades for you, and it ranks them according to the weighting. So make sure, if you're not sure what it's all about, go to the Ticket Time website, which we're going to link down below, and have a read of the weighting section, which will talk all about what's on the slide about how we weight courses. If you have feedback about how we do our weightings or anything we might not have considered, or changes that could happen for Ticket Time, then join our server, and we've got a Ticket Time feedback section. So chuck that feedback in there. Let us know what your thoughts are. We've had some really great feedback already in the server, and people participating in the features that we want to implement. Or when I say we, I mean Flo, to implement in the future. So, Flo, did you? I know that you've been unwell this week, so I imagine that there hasn't been any changes to the way Ticket Time looks at things in the last few weeks. Is that correct?
So there haven't been any changes. Of course, it's just getting updated, so it gets the coverage update and the new items and all that. And of course, I just consider the new recency. So of course, by the time going on, all the tracks will decrease in value. So this is all considered, but no algorithm changes or new features yet. But hopefully in the next couple of weeks and months.
All right, so let's get into our top 10 in the generic ACR upgrade rankings. So we compute this by taking a generic account, which assumes you have every item at level 3 with no cap, and then if you were to upgrade it to level 6 and double cap it, what is the difference in the scoring gain, and how does that affect the items in the game? So our number 1 driver is the Gold Me Racing Suit, followed by Meowser, then Mario Samurai, Yoshi Kangaroo, Charging Chuck, and then rounding out the top 10 is Daisy Tie Dress, Luigi Vacation, Shy Guy Ninja, Petey Piranha, and Rosalina Volendam. Massive jump for Daisy Tie Dress this tour. Jumping 8 places, and also Petey Piranha jumping into the top 10, I think, for the first time for us, in place 9, so jumping 6 places. Flo, I'm not sure if you wanted to outline any particular drivers in the top 10, but I think it's a really solid list.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid list, and you can't really go wrong with any of those drivers. Of course, some of them will cover a lot of more gaps for your account, and some a little bit less. The 2 newer drivers who are interesting are, of course, Daisy Tie Dress and Petey Piranha. I think Gold Charging Chuck is starting at position 29, something like that. Or is it even 20? Something in that area.
60. 50? 50, 60?
That's definitely too low. Okay. He's already, since he has a lot of new tracks as well.
Oh, sorry, I
That's
was thinking of my rankings.
yeah. That might be in the. So that's of course the difference. In the personal rankings, I think for a lot of people, Go Charge and Chuck will not be that great. But if you just consider it independently, if you have this artificial account, everything at level 3, then it of course would be a great option to invest in. So I expect him to be top 10. The next tour, the tour after, probably the tour after, maybe next tour it's top 15, something like that. So those would be the most interesting driver to invest in. And apart from that, as we have already mentioned, the top 16 drivers all got at least one buff. So that's why they are, a couple of drivers that got a little bit more buffs, Daisy Tigress, PD Piranha. So that's why there are a little bit changes in the list. But apart from that, top 5 are stable. And that's it.
All right. Jumping into the karts, we had the Jukebox Buggy, the #1 kart in the game for ACR. Cupid's Arrow in second place, which might be surprising to some. It's got some really good lasting coverage and a lot of ACR appearance, even though it doesn't feature a lot in ranked at the moment. Armored Rider, which I'm absolutely loving, in the third place. Warrior Wagon, massive jump up 9 places to 4th place, right behind that Armored Rider, which is really cool to see. When there's multiple versions of the same thing come out of tour, people often assume that one will be good and one will be bad. So really interesting to see both getting so much value there as well, especially that one not being paywalled. And then we've got the Cream Cat Cruiser in 5th place, the Green Yellow Capsule Kart jumping up 5 places to place 6, the Jet Cruiser jumping down 3 places now that Daisy Cruiser's probably dropped off the ACR this tour. Flowery Bandwagon jumping up 8 places, which is a huge boost into the top 10 for such a new kart. Silver King holding down place number 9, and then the Grey Cat Cruiser in 10th place. Flo, what stands out to you in the top 10 for the karts?
The Warrior Wagon, as you already mentioned, that's a huge jump. 9 places, got 2 nice buffs this tour on the new tracks. Same for the Flowery Bandwagon, should be 2 or maybe even 3 new buffs, something like that, and probably for the Green Yellow Capsule Card as well. So that's why there's those huge jumps in, and they just overtook some other cards like Jet Cruiser, Grey Cat Cruiser that didn't get buffed. And yeah, it's getting interesting. There are some probably Cream Cat Cruiser is not a very popular card, but it got some nice buffs, and it might help your account. So maybe you pulled that pipe and you put that card somewhere into your inventory, and now finally it got some value. So that might be interesting to look at if you are not if hitbox is not that important for you, since it's a very skinny card.
All right, really interesting points there. And then we move on to the gliders. So we've got in the #1 place, Wonderful Wings, and number 2, Golden Wings, and number 3, Candlelight Flight holding steady. Then up 1, we've got the Record Setter in 4th place, the Tropical Balloons in 5th place, and then up 2, the Ship's Wheel in 6th place. Starry Great Sail dropping 3 places, which I hate to see. I love that glider. Black Cap Parafoil coming up 3 places to number 8. And then the Wicked Topaz, an astronomical jump there, 21 places into the top 10 for the first time in number 9th place. And then the Pink Gold Meters also jumping up 2 places into the top 10 in place number 10. Flo, what stands out for you in the top 10 for the gliders?
Well, of course, the Wicked Topaz. So it got 3 buffs on the new tracks, which is then heavy because they will appear in the next tours. Probably there will be any Bowser Castle in the next couple of tours, and Wicked Topaz will have their use there. Other than that, most of the gliders I think got at least 1 buff, not necessarily one of the new tracks, but also one of the returning ones. So that's why the newer items are usually rising and then overtaking some other older gliders like Starry Great Sail or some other gliders that left the top 10. I think something like Black Toby balloons that were there last tour.
All right, so that's our upgrade rankings, guys. Let's move into some personalized upgrade rankings. First up will be mine, but we won't spend too much time on that because I'm really excited to get into, especially in Nush's, and see what we can see in there today. But for my drivers, pretty steady. It's interesting to see Rosalina Volendam come all the way up to 4th place. I knew she would. But there it is, a level 1 item telling me I have to upgrade that item. Even to 6 double cap would give me heaps of scoring gain. So really interesting, especially seeing Petey Piranha all the way down in 10th place, though that could change pretty quickly with him probably having much more of a buff streak. So we'll have to keep a watch on them. I'm still not that interested in upgrading more boomerang drivers. So, you know, I'm going to be paying attention a lot to ranked as we go forward. But the Petey Piranha Me Racing suit, which I now have at level 1, just by the way, I haven't put it into my inventory yet, but I went ahead and bought that because it's just crazy that we can just go ahead and buy that with 70 rubies. But even that is already 6th place on the list. So really quite interesting there. Let me know if you guys notice anything in my upgrade rankings you want to point out. But in terms of the karts, the Rabby Runner, I knew this was what was going to happen this tour because in the last 20 minutes of the tour, I triple capped it, and now ticket time's like, hey, it's only 5 tickets to upgrade it. So I was looking and hoping that it would appear in ranked. Unfortunately not. It's not really present in ranked this tour. So I have to wait to see if it comes back into ranked. But if it does, then it would definitely be going towards level 7. The yellow off-roader, which I was absolutely loving last tour, I would love to take that further up to level 8. But again, it really just has to come back in ranked for me. But the Armored Rider is my card at the moment that I'm really excited about. Jukebox Buggy's cool too. And it's interesting to see Flowery Badwagon, Red Off-Roader already really strong in my inventory. So definitely going to have to look at those items as well. Looking at my gliders, funny to see Silver Starshoot at the top. Definitely an interesting one. I guess that's probably because it's only 8 tickets to take it to level 8 there.
Yeah, because it's already triple capped. Yeah.
Yep. Candlelight Flight still holding strong, so definitely we'll have to be looking at upgrading that. Unfortunately, it didn't get the ranked appearances that I wanted to see, being that it's an older item now. So we'll see, maybe something else will overtake it. Wonderful Wings still makes a lot of sense, so we have to look at that one. Secret Scroll being an item I didn't obtain, quite interesting there too. And then Wicked Topaz, a really interesting one for my account that I need to take a serious look at. Let's get into your upgrade rankings, Flo. Take us through what you see in yours.
Yeah, so it's pretty nice to see that I have most of the drivers obtained, and it's also just a matter which one to upgrade. And on top of the list, now there's Meowser. And as I mentioned earlier, it might be worth to triple cap it now. I have exactly 10 cap tickets, so that's why I could be able to do, I could make it, but I'm also a little bit hesitant because yeah, you also want to have some tickets available for some other drivers. And the rest of the list, basically my level 7 triple caps, my level 6 double caps, I was lucky enough to both obtain and also level up most of the top 10, top 15 drivers, also in the general list, and they also appear in my list as well. They are Daisy, Holiday Cheer, and Mario Samurai, who could fill some gaps for me. But yeah, let's see when or if there's a chance to obtain them.
Nice. And your cards?
Yeah, for my cards, there is still the flower cards that I left at level 4 single cap, which I could put to level 6 double cap at some point, but it's not ranked and not too interesting for ACR as well this tour, so probably not too interesting. It's interesting to see the watermelon card at position 10. I will not invest into that because it's a ranked reward and it's not, it won't turn out that great, I think, and especially because it's a very small hitbox. So if it's combined with Boomerang or Lucky 7, Giant Banana, then it doesn't. But as soon as it is combined with the Comboxer, then it's just awful to drive in that combination. So yeah, there are some other interesting cards, which the Piranha pipes are a little bit unfortunate that I missed out on them because I pulled the pipe, but I just decided to not fully empty it. So I left them in the pipe because I got PD Piranha after 4 tennis. And yeah, some interesting, rather unpopular cards down the list as well. Dragonfly, Black Turbo Yoshi, probably not too interesting for other people, but yeah, hey, that's let's see if they stay at that positions.
Yeah, the Kart list tends to always be more volatile with so many carts in the game and so much, so many different courses appearing. And then your gliders.
Yeah,
love to see that number 1.
Yeah, the Golden Wings. Yeah, that was a great investment. I also double feature again in ranked this tour, so it's amazing. And I'm a little bit hesitant because this recommendation of ticket time is, of course, that you rather spend those level tickets than the cap tickets always when you consider upgrades like level 7 triple cap to 8 triple cap, and of course you don't have that many level tickets available, so you have to be a little bit careful on that depending on your ticket stash. What is interesting to see is the secret scroll at position 3. I did pull that pipe. It was decent, but not great for my account, but it collected basically all the buffs that I wanted to have on other gliders. So yeah, maybe at some point it will come back and I will have the chance to collect it. Wicked Topaz at position 10. So that might be interesting to pull. And yeah, some other decent gliders. Piranha Plant Balloons, I'm a little bit hesitant. I don't have that many giant banana drivers, so that makes banana to bad glider skill for my account. But yeah, the most important thing is the coverage anyway, and it's decent, but it's not great yet. So yeah, no real glider that I really should invest into right now.
Awesome. All right, and so the moment of truth is here, and I know you probably already looked at them yourself, but let's take a look at your upgrade rankings and just have a chat and I know we'll talk a little bit shortly about what items you're upgrading for this tour, but in terms of the long-term value that ticket time sees, let's take a look at the drivers. So in number 1 place, you've got Luigi Vacation, then Meowser, Yoshi Gold Egg, Daisy Tidress, and then in the 5th place, still at level 1, is PD Piranha, which is quite an interesting one there too. Got Shy Guy Ninja, Pink Gold Peach, Rosalina Volendam. I think from my perspective, the most interesting one's got to be PD Piranha there, with taking them to 6 and double cap being potentially giving you 15 courses. That's quite an interesting insight there.
Yeah, I think that's very interesting, and also it's interesting to see that Pink Ninja is missing from the list, or he isn't on the list, which is funny because I think I have been using him in every single tour so far, but maybe that's telling me that his time is coming to an end, possibly.
Yeah, he has mostly ranked usage and not ACR usage.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's why yeah, he's not that far. Yeah, I probably should be something end of the tennis in the 20s, something there. So he since he's already 6 double cap, I'm pretty sure he would be further up the list if he would have been something like level 1 or level 4, since then it would be easy gains.
Yeah, so I think Meowser also in my ranking pretty high. I just obtained the 10th driver cap ticket, so I'm actually ready to take someone to triple cup. Yeah, so I'm
nice.
Yeah, I think he would be a very good investment.
Yeah, I mean, looking at his ACR appearances this tour, it's probably the main move that I'll be making if I was in your position. So I'm sure we'll talk about that in a minute. So that was possibly a wee teaser of what we're going to talk about soon. But looking then at your carts, in the number one place is actually the White Bruiser. So that one is really solid for your account. I can see you've already triple capped it. So that's almost like you put your stamp of approval on it with that triple cap, and then it's going to be the cart that you're using. So taking it to level 7 is going to make sense. And then in the number 2 position is, of course, that Lightning Streamliner, which you didn't obtain, but I'm sure you're kicking yourself like I am for not obtaining that cart. Really, really insane value. So if and when it's to return, then that could be a really interesting item for you to look at. Rose Taxi, interesting one to see in there as well. That's obviously a real pillar on your account. And then the Coral Jet Cruiser, which you did obtain, which does have some overlaps with the Lightning Streamliner. That one might be the one to go for in terms of upgrades there as well. Red Off-Roader, really strong already in 6th place, which is really cool to see. 7 courses from the start, whereas Coral Jet Cruiser is 9, so it's pretty comparable. So you could almost pick one of those. I think they might have maybe one overlap. Not sure on that. Does anyone know?
Which one? Red Off-Roader and Coral?
Coral Jet Cruiser and Red Off-Roader, yeah.
Yeah, they have at least Piranha Plant Slide R as an overlap. I'm not sure about the rest. I think that's it, but yeah.
Cool. Anything interesting in that list for you, Anusha?
So I know the Rose Taxi has been giving me lots of coverage in the past. I haven't seen it, I think, in the last 1 or 2 tours. I don't think it has been that active, but I think it has at least one appearance, I think, this tour.
Yeah, it has a couple.
So I think it was the first high-end card that I triple capped.
Oh wow!
So it's a special card.
That's your card. Yeah, that is your card right there. That's awesome. Cool, awesome. All right, and then moving on to your gliders. So we've got the Wonderful Wings, the Black Great Sail, Springtime Crane, which is quite a cool one. Not a lot of people have invested in that, but it's obviously great for your account. I think it's Bullet Bill, so it's quite good for pairing with the Coinbox. Green Cap Parafoil, which I know I've got that one. Actually, no, I've got the Cap Parafoil. So you got the Green Cap Parafoil recommended there. That one's quite strong there too. Tropical Balloon, Sakura Origami Glider, quite a few difficult to obtain gliders. So some really interesting options to look at. What stands out to you on your list?
I like the Springtime Crane. I think I upgraded it, even though I was advised against it. Actually, I think I pulled that one, the Springtime Crane. I pulled it on my birthday.
Yeah. Oh,
so
cool.
it was my
awesome.
Mario Kart's birthday gift to me. As always, I was short on rubies, so it was actually a gift.
I can relate.
Yeah. So I mean the Starry Great Sale. I think I got that one a couple of some time ago, and I just like the optic of the sail. So I mean, yeah. So we'll see if I can get them. And the Candlelight Flight on position 9. I just pulled it out of the gold. Cool. I think the All Clear Pipe. Some time ago, which I think it's 1 week ago.
Yeah.
So Florian hasn't yet recovered from it because he really needs the Candlelight Flight. But we're getting over it slowly. Sometimes he can use it on my account. And,
Oh, I love that. It's so good. Yeah. I have that with myself because I play 2 accounts. So I pulled the Red Off-Roader in like the first 10 pulls and on my free-to-play account, of course, and it gets all the luck. So I feel you there. Might be interesting to look at the Candlelight Flight to see if it's valuable. I don't know if it has much ACR usage this tour, but certainly I know if you're going for ACR this tour, that's cool. But if ranked is usually your focus, then that might be a bit difficult with the Candlelight Flight. I don't know how much ranked appearances it will get going forward.
Yeah.
I think you guys cut out a little bit there, but I think you're back online now. So let's carry on forward. All right. So let's get into this discussion on our ACR game plan. And I'm really keen to hear from you today, Anusha, on what your plan is and what the upgrades are. And I know you would have had some help and support from someone in your life who knows lots about ACR, which is, you know, when you've got them in the same room, that makes it even easier. You don't have to wait for time zones or across the other, you know, side of the world to say, hey, which track can I grind? Like Flo was helping me last tour. You can actually just say, hey, can you give me some tips on this track, or which one should I spend my time on? So so that's great. So I think we've got a couple slides here of kind of just your upgrades that you've made. But in general, what's the strategy this tour? Like, is there an overarching kind of plan, or certain items you need to obtain and level up, or how is it kind of fitting together?
Yeah, so basically, I think I would need the red off-roader and the wicked topaz balloons. I'm never so sure about the English names because I play in German. But yeah, so I think if I could get those two later in our pipe pulling video, would be great. So I saved lots of tickets, which is very unusual for me because normally I just like occasionally upgrade something. So until now, I basically kind of equally spread my tickets across different drivers. So as you can see in my tables, there's basically no one who's at level 8. There are lots of drivers at level 6. So there's a solid base. So now I think it's all about, you know, giving the special drivers their time to shine, getting them to level 7. Yeah, I mean, lucky enough, I have a very experienced ACR driver here with me. So, you know, he gives me tips, he calms my nerves. And so, yeah, lucky enough, I'm on holidays now, so I have lots of time.
Nice.
I started a new Netflix show, so there's
Put
also
that
some
on, sit there in your comfy seat and start grinding. That's the way to go. Very cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. So I'll let you guys take us through what we are seeing here.
Yeah, maybe I can talk a little bit about that. So I think it's the very first time that you use this cheat. I changed a little bit the settings on, not that many, but as you can see, the action count column is marked in purple, and as you can see on the right, it's set to 80% of the action count, which is, I think on a couple of tracks you will easily beat that score, but that should be something like the average to aim for. And also it makes like this new rank system with the grades on the right look a little bit better. I know she loves to have a couple of A's or S's.
Yeah, you got to get the A's.
And if we would have the 100% action count, it would look way worse. And,
well, it always does. It does your head in.
Yeah. So that's the little trick that we applied there. And as you can see, the estimated score is 1.28 almost. So that's a little bit above the current cutoff. But that's without any upgrades. And
solid.
That's pretty solid. So basically for her account, it was just a question when to go for ACR. And we didn't have to wait for a specific tour where the drivers are particularly good, or the other items as well, because your account is pretty solid, and it's just about the question when do you have the time to grind for it. So that's the story behind it, I would say. And what is really interesting this tour is that the drivers are carrying heavily. So 6.2 is something you could even go for top 100. Not this specific tour, but another tour is an average of 6.2 might be enough to go for top 100 if karts and gliders are at the same level. So that's pretty strong.
Hard enough.
And if you grind hard enough, of course, that's definitely a 90%
that's always the case.
Grind. And in this case, I'm not sure how it would convert to 100%. So of course, in this on this scale, we would have to achieve 100%, and on the 100% action count scale, it would be something around 80, 85, maybe something like that. So just to get a feeling for those that didn't change the action count. Yeah.
Cool. Would you like me to move to the next slide?
Yeah, maybe just generally, I want to say that I love this sheet because it has all the pictures and the colors and
and a massive
so,
shout out to dkr.exe. We love everything you do and making this sheet, making it possible to go for a top 100 run and know that you need to get a score in the last 20 minutes. I can relate. So thanks for all you do and bringing new features. And I know the that handicap feature is fantastic because it actually a lot of people find it really difficult with where your headspace is at when you see all of this. And what I was doing last tour is I would put it on 100% and then I'd change it back to 90% and see if I have a 90% target, does that scale accordingly and where are the gains? So it was really useful using some of those features. Cool. All right. So I'll move to the next slide and you can talk to this.
Yeah, so this is my upgrade plan. So I think we already talked about it in my for my ticket time output. So yeah, I will get Meowser to triple cap.
Was
and
he
then
already level 7 or are you taking from 6 to 7?
No, oh yeah, I also have to get him from level 6 to 7. I'm not as well known of my account as Florian is, so yeah, and then I will have to get both the red off-roader and the Wikitopus out of the pipes. So I think I have something like 380 rubies, and then I'll try my luck. And then I saved lots of tickets, so I can both get them. I can get the red off-roader to level 6 and triple cap even, and the Wikitopus to level 6 and double cap. So I'm quite excited. I think I never got a new high-end item and had that much tickets left because I'm a very impulsive. I was a very impulsive spender before I became a professional Mario Kart 2 player, and so.
So you were a big spender until like 2 days ago.
Yes.
Everything's changed. You're a new person.
Yes.
Oh, that's brilliant. Hey, well, that's so exciting. I'm so jealous, that plan of taking that red off-roader. If only they could have brought that card out last tour and I could have upgraded that instead of that chocolate banana minibus.
Oh yeah.
I think I think I will feel the same next tour. So I'm crossing my fingers that it's not a Yoshi tour, but I think I already saw on Reddit that some data mining suggests it's a Mario versus Luigi tour. So I'm not hoping for a new Koopa Old there because I need to refill both on rubies and tickets.
I'm hoping for like a SNES Luigi, but I don't think it's going to be Coinbox, guys. Seeing what's happened this tour. That's really exciting. Flo, anything you wanted to add around the upgrade plan?
So yeah, that's just as you have seen on the previous slide, it would not have been necessary, at least as long as the projections don't change. But of course, those 3 investments, so the red off-roader, we could actually triple cap it, but I thought for the upgrade plan, I just left it as double cap. So as you can see, the estimated score increased by 100,000. So that's definitely, you can even leave, even on the 80% action count, you can leave 3,000 on every single track. So that should be really comfortable for a first top 1,000 grind. And let's see if we do all the 3 upgrades, if we get all the items that we want. And so
you're gonna get hooked. Nush, you're gonna get totally hooked to the ACR buzz after this. When you get that badge, you're gonna just be like, "Oh, this is so fun," because you get to, flex your loadout on every single course. So that's the fun part of ACR. So yeah, enjoy. Especially with Coinbox, you're gonna get all these crazy runs and just be like, running around the room.
Yeah. And as you can see, there are a couple of runs there. I think like 2 or 3 runs that we might keep if we do not upgrade on that track, but the rest is just to fill out the sheet and look how it works and get some scores over there. And let's see how it looks like in 2 weeks. So we can then of course reveal how it went all. And which position is your final in the placement.
Good luck. You know,
Thank you.
have fun. You know, it is really fun. So you know, enjoy yourself.
I will.
All right, guys, let's wrap the episode up there. Thank you so much for watching along. It's now been over an hour, and we just want to say thank you to everyone in our community, to our mods, to those who are help with data analysis, spreadsheets, and everything in the community. It means a lot, and it means that we can put together some of this information and share that back to the community again, so that we can help and support you with your ACR goals. So, make sure to get involved in the Discord community. That's probably our key call out today. There's so much incredible knowledge and experience in there. So make sure to join and get involved. Flo, I'll leave it to you to say goodbye to your fans, and if you wanted to shout anyone out or anything like that, go ahead.
Yeah, of course I want to shout out Anusha. So I'm really looking forward to her first top 1000. So she's actually a pretty good Mario Kart player. When she's going for ranked, she usually goes at least for 90%. So that 80% action count should be easily obtainable. It's just the amount of time that's required for that, and yeah, it will be fun. Originally I thought of going for top 100 when she's going for top 1000 in the tour, but I won't do it this tour since it's already a little bit late, and I won't do it like the last time. The last time was also I was starting late, and just take it a little bit easy.
Makes it a bit too stressful, starting late like that.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the tour, and let's have a nice time with the new tracks.
Awesome, man. Hey, well, thanks everyone for watching. Make sure, if you liked it, make sure to hit the like button. If you loved it, hit the subscribe button, get involved. And I hope it helps, guys. Have a great tour. Enjoy the Bowser tour, and we'll see you in the new tour. Maybe Mario versus Luigi. Let's go. Have some fun. All right. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.